All right, guys, so here are our two numbers from our math message, 53 and 44. We broke those into their expanded form. We had 50 plus 3 and 40 plus 4, right? So we have our 53 right there. We have our 44 right there, right? So now we're going to bring that down. How can we use that to help us come up with the answer, right? So we could add 3 and 4, and we could add 5 and 4, but sometimes these ones equal more than 9, and that brings us to a little bit of a problem, right? But this also lets you see why. Why is the 3 and 4 in the ones place, the ones we add first, and then we move over to our tens and possibly hundreds, right? That's because if our ones equal more than 9, we would have to bring one of those tens over here. So we cannot start with our tens place. We always have to start over here. And I know that's a little different because you guys are used to reading from left to right. So our brain wants to add from left to right. But in math, with addition, subtraction, multiplication, we have to start in the ones place. We have to start over the right to the left. All right, so here's it broken down. How are we going to use this to help us come up with the answer? Well, we're going to take our 50 and our 40, and we're going to take our 3 and our 4. Now that they're broken down into their tens and ones, now we can add them in whatever order we want. Okay, we can start here just to keep with our ones and then do our tens, but we get 50 plus 40 is 90. And 3 plus 4 is 7, which is going to give us 97. 3 plus 4 is 7. 5 plus 4 is 9, which is actually 5 tens plus 4 tens to get 9 tens. So we're going to use what we did in our math message and what we did right here to help us with our next problem. All right, so we have 36 and 75. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up one of these text boxes for us. All right. Give me a second here because I know it takes me a little while to get this going. So I'm going to draw a text box, and that guy's way too far over there. So we're going to draw another one here for ourselves. All right, that's fine. We'll move it when we need to. So we're going to break this number into its parts first. So we have 36. I want you to think about what would be the expanded form of 36. I'm going to take my tens plus my ones. So I'm going to take my 3 tens, which is 30, and I'm going to add it to my 6 ones to give me the answer of 36. All right. Then I'm going to go to my 75. 75 has 7 tens and 5 ones, so my 7 tens is going to be my 70, and my 5 ones is going to be the number in my ones place to give me 75. All right, now I could add 6 and 5, but I'm going to get 11, and I can't put an 11 here. I'm going to have to bring that extra 10 over here, so it gets to be a lot, right? So what we can do is we can just use these easier numbers. Remember, tens are friendly numbers. They're a lot easier to use. So I'm going to take my 30 and my 70, right? 3 plus 7 is 10, or 30 plus 70 is 100. And then I'm going to add my ones. 6 plus 5 is going to give me 11. Now, 100 plus 11 is a lot easier to work with than 36 plus 75, right? So if I had 100 from my tens and 11 from my ones, and I bring them together, I'm going to get the answer 111. Right? That is going to be a whole lot easier to work with than the numbers that we have here. So we're still getting the same answer, but we're breaking it into its parts. This is called partial sums because we're taking parts of the number, getting the sums of them, and bringing them all together to get our answer. All right, let's take a look at another one. I'm going to get a little bit bigger here. All right, we've got 3 digits, but we're not going to let those 3 digits scare us. We're going to do the same thing we did with our 2-digit numbers, except this time we're going to break it into hundreds, tens, and ones. So let's get that text box back out for ourselves. And let's go ahead and draw that there. All right, it's okay that it's over to the side right now. So let's look at that 254. Remember, when we say the number, we're actually saying the expanded form. We're already breaking the number into its pieces. So do it with me. 254. 254. Just like that, right? 138. We do it the same way. As you read the number, break it down into its parts. 138. Okay, and that gives us 138. Now, all we need to do is bring all of our numbers together. First, we're going to do our hundreds, then we're going to do our tens, and then we're going to do our ones, and we're going to add them all together because adding them together in this simple form with zeros in the back, tens and hundreds, is a lot easier than doing it over here. Promise you. All right, so 200 plus 100. 2 plus 1 is 3 with my 100. 50 plus 30, 5 plus 3. 5 plus 3 is 8 with my 0 in the back makes 80. And then 4 plus 8, right? Start with my 8, add 4 more, that gives me 12. Now, right, I have 380. Right away, that gives me 380, right? And then I just have to add 12 more. All right, so in my head, this is what it might look like. 380 plus 10, right, equals 390. And then I can add my 2 more, right? And that's going to give us the answer of 392. Okay, because 380, 390, 392. Right, so we bring this up here just so that we can line it all up. Right, there's my 254, my 138, breaking it into its hundreds, its tens, and its ones, breaking it into its parts, bringing those parts together to have numbers that are a lot easier to work with, numbers with zeros in the ones place, and then I bring them all together. When I have a 2-digit number here in my ones place, sometimes I can break that even farther into tens and ones to make it a little bit easier for myself. All right, so let's try another one together. Practice makes perfect. 87 plus 26. I'm going to go ahead and build a text box for ourselves. All right, that one's a little bit far, but it's okay. Let's do 87. All right, so 87. Right when I say it, I get my answer. 80 plus 7 equals 87. Right? 26. There it is, right with the words that I say when I say that number. 26. 20 plus 6 equals 26. Okay, now I can bring all of my parts together. 8 plus 2 is 10, which means 80 plus 20 is going to give me 100. 80, 90, 100. Then I have my 7 and my 6. Well, 7 plus 7 is 14, so 7 plus 6 is 1 less. That's going to be 13. And now I can add 100 plus 13. Oh my gosh, so much easier than trying to figure all this out over here, right? So we're going to take that and bring it up here so we can line it up and see how it matches, right? And we have our answer, right? 7 plus 6 is 13. I can't put a 13 there, right? So I need to put my 3, and then I can bring my 10 over there. But that is a whole lot of brain work. And it's not that you can't do it, and it's not that you shouldn't know how to do it, but this is where we start. This is how we train our brain to figure out exactly why adding these numbers like this works the way that it does. All right, and we've got this guy here, 246 and 132. All right, told you, lots of practice, and then you guys are going to get ready to try this on your own with our next one. All right, so here is our box, 246. Say it with me, 246. 200 plus 40 plus 6 equals 246. All right, 132. Say it with me. 100 plus 30 plus 2 equals 132. All right, now I got to add these really big numbers together, but you know what? I made it super easy for myself because I broke it into hundreds, tens, and ones. And the only numbers that are not zeros in the ones place are these guys here. So 200s plus 100 more is going to be 2 plus 1 is 300. 4 plus 3 is 7, or 40 plus 30 is 70. And then, not an equals yet, I have 6 plus 2, which is 8. All right, now I look at that number and it's so much easier to work with because I take my 300, my 70, and my 8, and we have our answer. All right, so breaking a number into its parts is a lot easier than trying to figure it out with all of these numbers clumped together. Now it's your turn. Now you're going to try this on your own. All right, I'm going to find our next activity here. Bear with me. All right, so here's what we're going to do. You are going to take one step back here just so that you can see the directions. All right, what you're going to be doing is you are going to be adding 2-digit numbers, sometimes 3-digit numbers to get your answer. Now we've got this thing here called ballpark estimates. If you remember, we did those right before we left each other. So we may or may not remember how to do that, but that's okay. This is the most important part. So what you're going to do is you are going to solve each one of these. You're going to need your whiteboard or pencil and paper. Okay, I'm going to go through each one. I'm not going to give you the answers yet. Okay, I'm going to give them to you. You're going to write them down and you're going to solve them. Then you're going to pause the video, right, before you look at whether or not you got the answers correct. Okay, so we're going to look at them. You're going to write them down. You can pause at any time. You're going to solve them, right? And before you solve them, you're going to pause the video. And when you're ready, you're going to unpause it and look at all the answers, okay? So on your paper, go ahead and write 34 plus 71. Leave some space to work. You're going to write the next one, which is 136 plus 157. And you're going to do the last one, only 3 of them, I believe, 122 plus 53. All right, so you can go ahead and pause. I'm going to get those answers all set for you, and we'll be back. All right, guys, so welcome back. All right, the first one I have all set for us, ready to go. We'll do the other ones together. So 34 plus 71, if we broke that up into an expanded form, 30 plus 4 is 34. 70 plus 1 is a 71. If we bring our 10s together, it makes 100. 30 plus 70 is 100. 4 plus 1, bring our 1s together, gives us 5. And it gives us an answer of 105. 4 plus 1 is 5. 3 plus 7 is 10. Now, our ballpark estimate, remember, is using friendly numbers, just a way to check our answer. So we're going to keep that 34 there, but we're going to take that 71 because it's really close to 70, friendly number 70. And we're going to estimate that our answer is about 104. Now, 105 was our real answer. That is a really close estimate. That's only 1 away from each other. Let's take a look at our next one. We're going to do this one together just to check ourselves. All right, so a little box here for ourselves, 136. If we broke that into our hundreds, tens, and ones, 100 plus 30 plus 6. All right, to give us 136. Then we have our 157, 100 plus 50 plus 7 to give us 157. And now we're going to bring our hundreds and our tens and our ones together. So 100 plus 100 is 200, plus 30 plus 50, 3 plus 5 is 8 or 80. And then we have 6 plus 7, which is 13. Right? So 280 plus 13. We have 200, 280, 290, 293 is our answer. All right, so we're going to move that guy up here where he belongs. And now we're going to take a look into our ballpark estimate. We have 136 and 157. Both of them are pretty close to friendly numbers, but we're going to take that 157 and we're going to bring it to friendly number 160. All right, so we had 136, which we're going to keep. We're going to take that 157 and we're going to bump it up to 160 because it's a pretty close friendly number. And now I can see that I have 100 plus 100 is 200, 3 tens plus 6 tens is 9 tens, and then 6 plus 0 is 6. So my ballpark estimate I got was 296. Our actual answer was 293. We use this to check because we estimate, we guess our answer is about 296, and we were pretty close to our actual answer. Great job. All right, and let's take a look at that last one. And then we are all done. You guys have done fantastic, right? Notice how I said fantastic because I'm totally thinking about the next chapter in our Ready Freddy book. All right, so let's go ahead and do 122 is going to be 100. Back that up. Plus 20 plus 2 equals 122. Then we're going to take that 53. Now I have nothing in my hundreds place, so I'm actually going to put a 0 there just to hold the place. All right, my plus sign, a little too far, right? Then I have my 50 and my 3 to equal 53. Now I can add. So I have no hundreds in my second number, just the 100 from my first number. 2 plus 5, or 20 plus 50, is 70. And then I have 2 plus 3, which is going to give me my 5. Add them together, 175. All right. We're going to go ahead and drag that up here, and we're going to wrap up with our last ballpark estimate up here. Okay, so 122 is really close to 120. So I'm going to take 120 as my friendly number, and I'm going to add that to 53. I'm going to keep that 53 there. 120 plus 53, remember ballpark estimates are just a way to check. 120 plus 53. So 100 is going to stay. 2 plus 5 is 7 for 70, and then my 3 ones, 173. Now, that is our estimate. It's about how much our answer is probably going to be. It's a way to check. Our actual answer is 175, really close. All right, that's it for math today. You guys did a great job. Thanks for hanging in there. Thanks for working with me, and I will see you again for math tomorrow. Bye, guys.